We'll worry about subs another day. There is a sub tournament tomorrow, though, by the way, and of course it's getting towards the end of the month, and we will be having a sub replay pack going out in a few days as well. So if you are looking for any of those, great time to sub. If you want to take part in the sub tournament, or if you want to get the replay pack, great time to subscribe. As we have to the upper left-hand side of the map, we're going to have our blue Terran player. Can we hear it? If you're going to be cheering on Miso in this best of 3 TVP. To the bottom right, we're going to have our red Protoss player. Let's see if you're going to be cheering on TAiLS. Beyond is life. That's beyond believable. Amazing. Amazing. I can't think of any Beyond jokes. I'm just not Beyond-y enough. Oh, that was horrendous. Someone slapped me. Does that even make sense? Do you guys understand what I was trying to say? You guys see what I was trying to do there? Do I pass? Do you guys forgive me? Can I get a free pass on this one? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. As we coming across the map here from Miso, gonna have a little bit of a look around to see what's going on, see what's happening, see what's gonna be taking place as we have this SCV coming in. Again, it's Steel Boy. Sorry, I feel as though I kind of just glanced over your resub. I do, again, really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Again, appreciate all the support you guys give me, and again, like in a few days, I'm actually going to expedite. I've been teasing this announcement. I'm going to actually announce it a little bit early, because I want you guys to know, like, I want you guys to know what's happening, and I want you guys to know how awesome you are and stuff like that. So, so yeah, I'm going to be announcing that a little bit early, and yeah, you guys will kind of figure out a little bit more about what's going on with me in the next few days. We do see there's a probe trying to come forward to put down a pylon. Not going to happen, though. With a Reaper here, with a bunker there, TAiLS not going to be successful with this. Proxy factory coming down from Miso. So factory coming down, and we're just going to see this factory on the way up. So factory on the way up from Miso, and we're going to see this Adept just sort of shading through. And he's just going to try and work his way against the SCV also at the front. So SCV is sort of taking a little bit of damage here, as we're going to see. Again, the factory finishing up, and I'm just going to have Mothership Core coming into the main base as well. So Mothership Core into the main base, and a little bit of pressure going on, despite the fact that he shut down the potential pylons. As we do see Reaper coming in across the map now, and actually going to start getting some damage done with this. So Miso doing some good little bit of damage here. He's got 2 kills, or at least one of them bros was attacking across the map previously. And he's going to be able to get at least one more worker kill here, I think. There's one, and he can keep working. He's going to go for another. Target fire is good. He loses it to a probe in the end, but still pretty nice. His Widow Mines going to start coming out, and guess what? There is no, there's no robo facility. So these Widow Mines are going to get into the mineral lines without any issue, and they're going to start being really, really annoying. As we see a probe and a Adept trying to go off against this, you're going to see this just taking down one worker right now, but it's still annoying. Another Widow Mine on the way up, so this proxy factory beginning to get work done. And we're going to see this coming in here in just a few moments. So this second Widow Mine going to be moving forwards, and going to siege up into this mineral. I'm going to burrow in this mineral line in just a couple of moments as well. So what am I going to burrow in this mineral line? And probe's going to be pulled on in. Uh-oh. Boom. Big connection there. 6 workers killed. Not good control at all by TAiLS. Bad micro. And there's going to be Miso is really starting to take advantage of this, and actually TAiLS is going to GG out because he's still taking damage from these Widow Mines. He lost another 4 in the main base. He's introduced us some players. So let's get into this. So a very aggressive game number 1 out of our Terran player to the bottom left-hand side. Taking that game, he is going to go 1-up in the series. It's Miso, our blue Terran, to the bottom left-hand side of Dusk Towers. And in the upper right is going to be our red Protoss player. Guys, can we hear some love, some cheers for TAiLS? They set up into this. We're going to wait to see how things are going to go. Again, not the best of games from TAiLS there. Just one of those situations where things sort of begin going wrong and they just keep going wrong after that, So Gonna be interesting to see what Miso comes up with this time. A much more standard map, a lot less potential for aggression and proxies and so on. Let's see if this goes into kind of the mid stages of the game instead of just ending on kind of the early stages of production. Let's see if this gets into the kind of middle stages here and whether, and what sort of direction it's going to take. I mean, Miso was kind of doing a really good job defending the mothership core and stuff across the map as well. And all of them units being across there really allowed that proxy factory to get a lot of damage done. And I'm honestly surprised that TAiLS didn't figure it out. He was in the main base with the mothership core. And he saw there's only a barracks, there's nothing else. He didn't realize there was 100 gas missing out on the map in the form of a factory. So, a little bit interesting. Very interesting, really, as we're going to see the Nexus on the way down in the natural expansion. So TAiLS going up here with the natural expansion. So natural expansion on the way. We're going to see an SCV coming out through the center of the map here from our Terran player as well. So Miso just going to come across through the center and just have a look to see what he's going to be able to get up to. So Miso going to be able to kind of just have a little bit of a scatter around here, see what's going on, see what is happening. Going to move on in towards this main base now. And again, just have a little bit of a poke around. We're going to see a probe coming across, and we'll just begin to long distance mine, it seems. Yes, he's fully saturated on his main. It's just starting to rally his probes across to the natural already, as we see the first Reaper coming across the map. Obviously, hopefully, we don't see the Reaper getting like 3-4 kills again. I mean, it's been a long time since, we don't usually see Reapers kind of getting that many kills, and it's just kind of, it's sort of the situation that we kind of arrived in, where the Adept and the Mothership Core was still busy across the map, and nothing else was out to defend the Reaper apart from probes, and so, TAiLS micro wasn't the best. He was still kind of microed across the map too, so he just sort of kept running the probes into the Reaper. He never, pulled the damage ones away or anything. And so it just led to the Reaper getting so many kills at the end of the last game. As you see, a very fast engineering bay here from Miso. So he's going to go into a very fast +1 upgrade. Second rack's now on the way down. Something a little bit different here then from our Terran players. Something we don't see all too often anymore, this fast +1 upgrade. We saw this, it used to be kind of a big thing, kind of towards the end of Heart of the Swarm, I'd say, where going for the fast +1 was a very safe way to play, especially against kind of very fast Oracle opens that we saw a lot and so on. And so kind of like a bit of an old school build here, where you go for the fast +1, you go into a big bio ball off of 2 racks, or maybe 3 racks, I guess is what Miso's going to go for. But you kind of go into that sort of bio play and just sort of see what you can get up to. And as you go into that bio play, a couple of medevacs come out, and everything sort of just joins up together, and it's just hits a very strong time, because you've not only got the first 2 medevacs early, you've also got the +1. And so your army in general is just going to become very, very powerful as we set up into game number 2 of this series. We see Blink is on the way now from TAiLS. So TAiLS is going to go into the Blink upgrade here. We do see the Robo just getting out another Observer. So another Observer does pop on out, and just going to be heading across towards the bottom left-hand side of the map here. So Observer going to head down towards the bottom left, and it's going to be seen again. Then a couple extra gateways going to be finishing up. They're going to morph into warp gates in just a moment or two. And yeah, +1 on the way from Miso, and yeah, just in general things looking pretty good here, as we see a couple of gateways are going to finish up, and this Adept just patrolling back and forth from TAiLS. So Adept just patrolling back and forth. Observer continuing to come across the map, and yeah, +1 about to finish. Stim, combat shields on the way up. I'm going to see a starport being added on too, and a reactor maybe also for Miso in the next few moments here. So again, I mean, it's just building into bio very early on, looking for a very strong bio push or some drop heavy play right from the get-go. Reaper comes in, just sees the third base. That's great information, of course, from our Terran player. Knowing that third base is down really makes you very safe against any kind of super aggressive 2-base sort of play style. It just gives him a very good read as to what to expect and what he might have to prepare for here in the near future. Again, them upgrades for our Terran player are going to be really scary. I mean, +1 armor is now on the way. So when he finishes up +1 armor, he's going to be on 1-1 upgrades. That's going to be really, really nice. He's going into 4th and 5th racks. He's going to play very aggressively off of 2 bases with no third CC for quite some time. And so he's really going to look to kind of utilize the fact that he can drop a lot and really look to trade effectively with these early upgrades. And they've gone unpunished, and so he really is going to have some very good trades coming his way in the near future. The first 2 medevacs are on the way out. Stim and combat shields are beginning to line on up, and these marine numbers are starting to, or continuing to rise as well. Now all of this is seen by TAiLS, as we see the observer just sat overhead, sees absolutely everything, so he knows exactly what he's playing against. And so TAiLS, you would imagine, should have an idea as to what he should do against something like this. He should have an idea as to how he likes to play against this. And you are going to see him adding on a Immortal out the Robo. He's adding on Resonating Glaives. And he's just going to make sure that he doesn't cut out too many units, basically, to make sure he can defend against this, make sure he's got pylons in position. Although that being said, this third base is kind of without pylons at the front here. I mean, the common pylon position is kind of along the front to help defender push up. They're not really here just yet, as we see this army coming across with +1 armor and +1 attack. I really feel this Protoss army is just sort of disappearing against Stim Bio. But let's see. I mean, there's only 2 medevacs. I mean, there's a fair few adepts. The sentries, the force fields can have a big effect on this as well. And so here we go. We're going to start coming forward. There's the Stim. The force fields aren't actually that great. Going to target down that sentry with the Guardian Shield. These adepts are falling pretty quickly. Again, that +1 armor really is going a long way, and the +1 attack just helping to get through these units nice and quickly. He will be forced to lift and back away, but a decent trade here to begin with. And I mean, here's the with 5 racks, the idea is you're just going to keep on trading time and time again, and take a third base again a little bit slower, so a slower economy, but you can keep on putting the pressure on, and you're really hoping again just to gain a lot while you're applying all of the pressure. So again, looking I mean, maybe not the best trades, I guess, in the end for Miso when you really think about it, because he is pushed away. I mean, you know, trades against, I mean, he picked off a sentry and a few adepts. Resources lost shows it's pretty even so far. Of course, again, the idea is that Miso's army is going to, you know, is meant to kind of be so much more powerful at this sort of stage, and his economy kind of trails a bit. You can see he's 15 workers down, his third CC still just building, has to morph into an orbital and float into position before it's going to really kind of be, you know, super useful. So he's got a long way to go with that third base, and so again, it's important that this army here in the near future does find ways in which he can kind of keep on trading. Now, as the bioforce gets larger like this kind of Protoss army becomes a little bit weaker. You know, Protoss army's gateway units, they're good in lower numbers, but as armies begin to mass up, the gateway units don't kind of transition so well into kind of super high numbers in comparison to the bio. So we'll see how he kind of transitions here. I mean, yes, he's adding on a couple of mortals. Sometime soon he's going to need splash, and you know, I definitely think there's opportunities here for Miso to maybe get damage done, whether it's drops into the main base or whatever. I think there's a lot of possibilities and ways in which he can maybe achieve something here in the next few minutes. We do see a single adept open in. Well, Prism is going to start looking at it to be kind of a way to kind of distract the Terran player when he's attacking or when he begins to move out onto the map. And obviously, the more time the Protoss player buys, the better, you know, the better army he's going to have. The more time he's got to get his own upgrades up, get into his own tech, and so on and so on. So, Warp Prism play can definitely be a good way to buy TAiLS a little bit of time here, as we see Ghosts starting to come into play. A couple of EMPs on this army could be deadly, you know. I mean, a couple of EMPs well placed, then the adepts suddenly have no shields left over, and if with no shields, all of a sudden, they, you know, with the upgrade disadvantage, they will just disappear, as we see these adepts coming in right now into the main. Immediate pull away by Miso, very well played. He actually hasn't lost, okay, just now he loses his first SCV, so really good defense so far. This army pushing out from TAiLS as well, looking to hit in 2 places at the same time. TAiLS just has so much right here. I feel what Miso may just be missing is the fact that he never started to build Liberators. Now, if he had a couple of Liberators already, I feel as though he could maybe hold his third base, but well, I mean, there's still upgrades in his favor. He's still got some good tech in the Ghosts. It's a bit different. It's not what you usually see, but it might just about work out for him, as we see these adepts, a little bit of a failed shade there, more adepts joining up together. We'll see Miso moving out. He's going to see this army, and he needs to pay attention to it. Here we go. EMPs starting to come down. Really nice EMPs onto the Immortals. He's got more EMPs left over. Use them on the adepts. There we go. Big hit onto the adepts as well, but does he have enough to keep on fighting? He's got a couple of Widowmines in this as well. I think he's got one more EMP left. I think he's just used it now, as we've seen him getting through those adepts very quickly. Again, that upgrade advantage is huge here, and that's really starting to shine on through as well, as some more adepts come in to try and tank, but them Stalker count is going down. Reinforcements from Miso. You can see he just has so much, and so the Protoss army did look terrifying. But the way in which Miso built this army up, with the EMPs available, and with the 2 upgrades, it is still just such a strong Terran army, despite being behind on supply moments before this engagement. Wow, that was kind of how I expected it to go. Just I began doubting myself. I think a lot of it. I think I looked at that Protoss army and was like, man, I'm kind of doubting this here. I don't know where he's fallen behind, but he sort of has. But he hadn't. He just had all of that tech in the background that you don't really see in kind of army size. Great EMP here once again, and on the mothership core. Well, that right there, that is probably going to be game. And then one more EMP comes down to the side. TAiLS taps out. Terran players. What is it with Terran players and dominating the Douyu Star Masters?